Hey there, YouTube family, it's me, Jackie Day, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Hearth and Apron. So I am a homemaker and stay-at-home mom who likes to make motivating content to help you get through your to-do list. I make all kinds of content, from cleaning to DIYs to decorating to gardening. The sky's the limit. Cook with me. Today's episode is a little bit different than the content that I've done before. Today I have kind of what I'm calling an ultimate cook with me, an ultimate recipe episode. I have an array of different things to show you, from a breakfast idea, like this awesome cream cheese Danish right here, to an appetizer, which is stuffed mushrooms, a mushroom Alfredo sauce that I cook with a tortellini and green beans. We also have a Caprese Toast, or as my daughter calls it, green toast. And I also at the end have a broccoli cheese soup. I just really hope that you enjoyed today's episode, and I hope that you will hit that like and subscribe button down below. Either way, I want to thank you for joining me today, and let's get to it. We're going to start right out with our first recipe, cream cheese Danishes. First, put 8 ounces of softened cream cheese, half to 1 cup of powdered sugar, 1 egg yolk. You can set the egg whites aside if you'd like to do an egg wash on top. I could not find the brush, so I didn't do it. 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. We are also going to add 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of lemon juice, and 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. Now, once all these ingredients are inside of my KitchenAid, I'm going to go ahead and just let them blend for a couple minutes until everything's blended really well. It is slightly lumpy, but it's really pretty well blended by the time it's done. And then we are going to go ahead and spoon it into a piping bag. So this is a trick my friend Heath taught me years ago. If you are trying to put your stuff into a piping bag, it really helps if you put it around a glass. It holds it up, it holds it open so that it's not constantly closing on you, and it just makes life way easier. If you go ahead and try this tip, let me know down below. So I did add a piping tip into my bag in the hopes that I might be able to make this pretty, but because it was slightly lumpy, it really didn't work out. It really wasn't necessary, and it was me just trying to go a little bit too far. So when you see me putting that inside of the bag, don't even worry about it. Just go ahead and put it right into the piping bag. It makes life easier. Now that this is in my piping bag, I'm just going to go ahead and twist up the end and put it into the fridge so that it can stay nice and cool until I'm ready for it. Next, we're going to go ahead and pull out our puff pastry. Now, I'm only going to use 1 piece, but it is actually going to make me 9 little pastries. I'm going to go ahead and cut it into thirds, going vertically and horizontally. Once this is done, I'm going to go ahead and lightly score in an edge, kind of like just a small little corners, because it allows that side to rise up and kind of lets the middle be its own. And then I'm going to poke the middle. And once this is done, I'm going to go ahead and take that cream cheese filling that we made and just kind of pipe it right on top, and then it's ready to go into the oven at 350 degrees for, I think I cooked it for 22 minutes, and then I left it turned off the oven at 22 minutes and left it in there until 25 minutes, and I pulled it out and they were ready to go. So easy. I did add raspberry jam to 3 of these just to kind of change it up. It really actually added so much. It was delicious. I hope that you guys try this out, and if so, please don't forget to let me know how it works out. If you want to make a comment or send me the picture of your awesome creations, go ahead and put it at my Instagram handle, Hearth and Apron. Don't those look awesome? I'll be honest, they tasted even better than they look. And the best part is, I don't really enjoy terribly sweet things, so because I made them at home, I got to adjust my sugar, so these were just the right amount of sweet for me. Okay, now we are going to go ahead and make something that you can either have with a meal or as an appetizer, which is how I cooked this one. we are going to make stuffed mushrooms. And I don't know if I've already said this already, but everything in this episode is vegetarian friendly. And I think that that's really fun because I have a lot of friends that are vegetarian and I sometimes have trouble finding meals that I think would be enjoyed by everybody. So let me get back to the recipe. What we're doing here is we're going to finely dice up, I think it's 5 cloves of garlic and 1 shallot. Now, if you don't have shallots at your disposal, onions would work just fine. I would use a yellow or a red. I just prefer to work with shallots because I like their flavor better. Now that these are all diced, we are going to go ahead and throw them into a pan with 1 tablespoon of butter, and we're just going to kind of let them saute while we prepare our mushrooms. As you can see, I've already removed the bottom of the mushroom and washed everything off. I'm going to spray my pan down with some avocado spray. This is the one that I get from Thrive. And then I'm going to arrange all my mushrooms on top and give everything a nice pat down so there's not any excess moisture. Then I'm going to do just a small sheen coat of this avocado spray right on top of my mushrooms as well, and I'm going to put them into the oven at 350 for about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to set them out and let them cool. So I went ahead and chopped up all the stems to the mushrooms. As you can see, I already kind of did this, and that is largely because I forgot to hit the record button. Back to the onions and shallots. As you can see, they are sauteing right now. We are going to go ahead and add our mushrooms in a couple minutes and just kind of let them cook on in. We're also going to sprinkle this with Lowry's garlic salt, which is kind of one of my go-to herbs and spices that I use, I have to admit. Once the mushrooms are cooked, we are going to go ahead and add 4 ounces of cream cheese and a large handful of Parmesan cheese and mix them in until the Parmesan cheese kind of melts into the mixture a little bit. And then the insides of our mushrooms are done. And it's time to go ahead and stuff each individual mushroom with a little bit of this mixture. Once we're done doing that, we are going to go ahead and sprinkle all of the mushrooms together with a little bit of extra Parmesan cheese and sprinkle them with breadcrumbs as well. Then we are going to put them in the oven at 350 degrees until the Parmesan cheese starts to turn about golden brown. I'd say about 10 to 15 minutes, but I have to be honest, I did not keep good track. And as you will see, I actually do not have a picture of these delicious mushrooms to show you at the end because they kind of got ate before I got a picture. I'm really sorry, guys. As you can tell by how quickly they were eaten, I promise you, you are going to love this. And one of the best parts is, as you can see, I didn't use all of the mixture for my mushrooms, and I'm going to be able to use this for a whole other meal on another night that I'm about to show you after this. Back to those leftovers. As you can see, the refrigerator made everything really cold and hard to get out of the Tupperware. Be smarter than me. Put it into the microwave for 15 seconds. It comes out way easier. Now, if you're wondering what we're making, we are going to be making a mushroom Alfredo sauce that it is really easy. You're going to be surprised how simple this is to make, especially when you consider that it's being made off leftovers. So once this starts to get warmed up in my pan, I'm going to add half a cup of heavy whipping cream, and I'm going to mix this all in together. You're just going to see I need to kind of mush it up and kind of really mix it in. And once that's done, I'm going to add a large handful of Parmesan cheese to the mixture and kind of mix it all in together and let this get up to a light simmer for about 4 to 5 minutes, kind of constantly stirring this cheese mixture. And once that's done, your sauce is done and it's ready to go. I'm going to put this over top of some cheese tortellini that I already had cooked, and This meal is that simple. We paired it with some steamed green beans, and this meal was probably done in less than 10 minutes. You'll notice that your sauce is done as it starts to get a little bit thicker, in case you're wondering. If you decide to try this out, let me know what you think. So we got something really exciting in the mail today, and I don't know if you can hear Emma in the background, but she's pretty excited too. And I have to admit, I'm just as excited as my dogs are for this treat. It's Bark Box! So we wanted to share our fun and excitement with you today. Come on in. Frenchies in Paris. Come on, Emma. Come on, girls. What do you think? Are you excited? Okay, let's see what's inside. Peanut butter cookies. Who wants to try one? Well, wait, there's more. Corn cuts. Or as we call them in our house, Scooby snacks. These are always really nice because they're like these thin little jerky strips. And it really makes it easy for me to cut them in half for the dogs to share. So we always really enjoy that. And aren't they being so good not taking it? Come here, girls. Come on. A little closer. Come on, son. Good girls. Let's see what's in the rest of our box. Does everybody get a toy? Emma, it's Monsieur Frog. Can we get Monsieur Frog? Yeah? Is that exciting? Celine, it's yours. She always likes the one where you can like take them out of it. Bonjour. It's like a baguette. It's not even a normal sweet. It does both. Is that your frog? On to another recipe. Now we are going to make my Caprese Toast, or as my daughter likes to call it, green toast. This is a really easy recipe that you can use in so many ways. I've paired it with soups, salads, I've had it stand alone, I've had it for lunches, dinners. You are going to absolutely love this, not only because it tastes amazing, but also because it's really easy to make. What you're going to start out with is basically taking a couple slices of bread. You can also take a baguette or a loaf and cut it in half and do it that way. It's really versatile. And you're essentially going to make garlic toast. You're going to put down some butter. I like to put a little garlic salt on top, and we're going to go ahead and crisp it up. While the garlic bread is cooking, we are going to go ahead and really thinly slice this tomato. You can also get some fresh basil leaves, but I didn't have any on hand as I just dried all of mine off my plant a couple days ago. Okay, the bread is done. Now we are going to add a little bit of rana, I don't know how it's pronounced, pesto sauce. I have tried different brands and some of them taste really weird, guys. This is the brand I suggest. Rana's like pesto sauce, and I'm just going to spread a really thin layer over top of all of my toast. After I'm done with that, I'm going to put a couple pieces of fresh mozzarella on each piece of bread, and then I'm going to shove it back in the oven until that mozzarella cheese starts to melt over top of my bread. Doesn't that look amazing, guys? After this, we're going to top it with a piece of tomato. Now's also the time, if you have that basil, go ahead and put that on right before the tomato so it sticks to the cheese. And then we're just going to lightly go over it with a balsamic glaze. And this is ready to eat, guys. Make sure you try this one. It is outstanding. We are now on to our last recipe, a broccoli cauliflower cheese soup. With the soup, we are going to go ahead and have these braisey bites with them. If you haven't had these yet, you need to try them. They are gluten-free and honestly just outstanding. We are going to be cooking the garlic Asiago and I think it's cheddar cheese ones, and you can see they're just these little small balls and they just poof up a little bit, but I think it's a really yummy treat. They also have a braisey empanada. We didn't like the chicken one, but the bean one was really yummy. I recommend you trying them. These bites cook at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. All right, now back to the soup. These are the ingredients that I will be using. There's riced broccoli, riced cauliflower, milk, and then I have these I think they're Campbell's cream of broccoli soup mixes, and then I have some spices that I'm going to add to this as well. This is the really easy version of this soup. I can make this from scratch, and maybe I will show you in a later episode if you would like, but I wanted to show you something for those nights when you just need something easy, but you want to get some veggies in your kid or yourself. So what you're going to start off with is you're going to take these 2 cans of soup and put them into your pan. I am using my cast iron pan because I love the way that it works with my soups. And then you're going to fill each one of these cans up with milk and add that to the pot too. Then you are going to add half a cup to 1 cup of riced broccoli and cauliflower to this mix. After this, you're going to go ahead and take it over to the stove and start warming it up. Also, if you're thinking my kids aren't going to eat broccoli, my daughter does not like broccoli or cauliflower, but she does like this soup, so give it a try. Time to add some seasonings. We are going to add 1 teaspoon of onion and garlic powder. We are also going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. I made the mistake and added 2, and it wasn't bad, but it was too salty for our taste, so I would only add 1 and then taste and add more if you would like. Then we are going to add half a teaspoon of oregano and parsley and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. We're going to go ahead and mix this all in, and as it starts to get up to a simmer, then we are going to mix in an entire package of shredded cheese. I used Mexican cheese from Tillamook, I believe. Make sure that you stir this a lot because it takes a little bit to get that cheese all the way mixed in. You'll notice that it's actually starting to combine when you start to see kind of a yellow-like color taking over the soup just a little bit. And after this, the soup's done and ready to go, guys.
Well, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And if you try out any of the recipes in this episode, please make sure to tag me at Hearth of Apron, HEARTHNAPRON on Instagram, or look me up on Facebook. I want to know, how did these recipes turn out for you? Did you like today's episode? Is this something you'd like to see in the future? Or would you prefer the content that we've done before? Don't forget to remember to have an absolutely magical day, and thank you for joining me.
Don't forget to join us next week where we will be having a 4th of July themed DIY, decorate, and more.